Hi guys, so today we're going to talk about a whole foods diet. What is a whole foods diet? I'm sure you've heard this term out there and maybe you know what it is, maybe you don't, but I really want to go through it with you because the concept of whole foods is such a healthy and helpful principle, whether it's just for improving the way you feel, your health, or just having a simple thing that you can go by to automatically improve the way you eat. But before we start, I just want to remind you that if you like content like this, if you want to hear more about nutrition, life coaching, wellness, mindfulness, go ahead and click on the subscribe button below and make sure to click on the notification bell as well so that you can be notified every time there's a new video that's come out. So what is a whole foods diet? Summarized really easily, it basically means just eat food in their whole original state. Nowadays, we eat a lot of boxed, packaged, or processed foods, and even though that makes things sometimes easier, the problem with packaged foods is the moment that big food has gotten into our food, they are going to manipulate it in a way to make it more shelf stable, and have more bang for the buck in terms of a lot of flavor, but not necessarily a healthier product. So when we eat something in its whole food state, let's say eating fresh cherries as opposed to dried cherries. So fresh cherries, first of all, they're going to have a maximum vitamin mineral content, although sometimes frozen cherries can be just as good, if not better. They are not going to have anything removed from them or added to them. If you get a dried cherry, oftentimes they're going to be adding sugar. They'll be adding stabilizers to the packaging. They'll be adding preservatives. They could even add food coloring. So the fresh cherry not only doesn't have any of these additives, not only is it fresher and the vitamins are they're fully intact, but also nothing's been removed. In that dry cherry, the water has been removed. The cherry's going to have its water, so you'll be full faster. So the sugar content won't be as strong. Another thing about whole foods in their original state is that when they're manipulated for processing, let's say a cereal or a flour, they take the original food and oftentimes not only will they take water like in the dried cherry case, but they will take out other things. Flour, we've taken a whole grain, we've processed it, we've removed a lot of the fiber components, so you could be left with a product that doesn't have any fiber or water anymore and just has the sugar, which, as we all know, eating something that's high in sugar or high in carbs can spike our blood sugar. Also, removing the fiber removes a lot of the healthful components or the prebiotics for our gut bacteria in our stomach. Our stomach thrives off of fiber. That's what feeds the digestive bacteria in the gut, and that's what creates immunity in the system. So if you're eating foods where the fiber's been removed, you're really messing with your immunity and your ability to feel full, because fiber is what makes us feel full. Now notice I've only been talking about plant products this far. Oftentimes when we hear the term whole foods, we hear it with whole foods plant-based diet, but there's also, you can also eat whole foods and be a meat eater. Again, the concept would be to eat meats that are in closest to their original state, as opposed to having a package of, maybe pepperoni that's been had artificial flavorings, salts, perhaps food colorings, stabilizers added to it, just the original, meat, preferably organic if you can afford it, that's been, pasture raised and that's been having its natural diet is going to be healthier for you. Also having what they call, carnivore or low carb circles at nose to tail diet, as opposed to just having a chicken breast where the skin's been removed, everything else has been removed, having more parts of the animal, parts that have some of the other vitamins or minerals or things like increased iron in them, really improves your diet by giving you a more well-balanced and complete nutrition profile. So what about vegetables? Eating vegetables when they're raw or lightly cooked, as opposed to cooking them for several hours. Eating beans, which have a lot of fiber, whole beans. Eating grains in their whole state, even if you're wanting to eat bread, looking at the ingredient label and seeing not that it says wheat, but that it says whole wheat, whole rye. The word whole means that the whole grain has been left inside the product and that they have not processed it as much, so that you're getting all of the components of it. So on that note, really try and eliminate processed foods. By eating whole foods, you're going to stick more to the outside aisles of a supermarket. So the produce section, the butcher section, the milk section, if you're eating dairy products, going for a raw or organic or just let's say cheddar cheese as opposed to a Velveeta slice. Something that's closer to its original state, or getting a yogurt that's been less processed, doesn't have all kinds of sugars, fruits, food colorings added to it, but a plain yogurt that you can later add things to yourself. Another thing that you really want to pay attention to if you're on a whole foods diet, oil is not really a whole food. It's a processed food, it's a component. So people who are eating whole foods diet are going to try and fill themselves up on whole foods instead of just aspects of food. So oils and sugars are both components of food. When you eat a fruit or when you eat a steak, you are receiving the sugar or the fats and oil as part of the whole package of the meal. The sugar in the fruit is coming with the fiber and the water. The fat in the steak is coming with the entirety of the steak. But the moment you add sugar and oil, you're adding a calorie bomb to your foods. So really beginning to realize that sugar and oils, these are not whole foods. They're high in calories, and they're foods that can definitely spike your insulin, and they're not going to give you the same kind of satiation as getting these elements as part of the whole food. So a whole foods diet isn't only important for your weight, whether it's losing weight, gaining weight, but it's really an integral component of health and preventing disease. Many people, if you look in testimonies or in the scientific literature, have improved many diseases from cancer to diabetes to cholesterol by switching to a more whole foods diet. Again, by not getting just these individual components bombarding their diet like sugars, oils, processed foods, but switching to the whole foods, they're eating foods that are more cleansing, that are enhancing their immunity and giving them more antioxidants and an increased vitamin mineral profile, and hence really improving their health outcomes. So I want you to realize that gravitating towards whole foods, eating as many whole foods as you can be as simple as adding a salad a day into your diet. Making sure to eat some whole vegetables in every meal, or really just starting slow. And the slower you go, maybe switching from white rice to brown rice, or eating grains that you're not used to eating that are, like a quinoa or a buckwheat. If you're on a low carb diet, then having more green vegetables, varying the vegetables that you have so that you're having more kales and more cabbages and more broccoli, and just adding more whole foods to your diet. If you have any other nutritional subjects that you are interested in, or you have anything that you want to share about how eating more whole foods has not only improved your health or your weight or even your skin, please do put that in the comments section below. In addition, If you want to see more videos like this or you want to be notified, go ahead and click on the subscribe link or click on the notification bell. Wishing you many blessings. Remember, food is an integral component of how we feel and how we carry ourselves in this world. So eat right so that you feel good about yourself.